Flash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
And you're still watching Prime Morning. This segment is a news flash segment and is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Whatever gadget you're looking for, mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, don't worry at all because we've got you covered. All you need to do is to download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, or visit our website for further inquiries, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still, phone papa perfie. I have my first guest seated here, so let me welcome him into the studio, Honorable Timothy Awantim Atabwade, and he's representing the NDC. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Rosalind.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's been some time we haven't
I think so, you know.
I think something came into the in between. I think the holidays or so. The Ramadan holidays.
Okay, that was last week, right?
That was last week.
Okay.
So it's nice seeing you as usual. You often brighten the studio.
Thank you.
It's by His grace anyway.
Yeah.
We thank God for His mercies and favors. And then we are happy that today we've met once again.
Exactly.
You see, let me quickly say this. You see, those who are on social media, and even in print and other media, spreading fake news, the fake news merchants, the fake news wholesalers, retailers, and door-to-door fake news people. It's a crime. Fake news is a crime. They shouldn't take it for granted, and very soon they are going to be clamped down. It is so because it distorts the momentum with which we are trying to reset this country. And people who are not particularly, people who are vulnerable can be taken away by saying, it doesn't do us anything. Especially, we can crack our jokes, but when it concerns national issues, we should try to move away from that, especially people who are in responsible positions. For instance, if you're a member of parliament, you're a former minister, a former appointee, you know better. You cannot also be seen on social media being a fake news merchant. It's a crime, and we must let people know. And I think the media should continue to educate the people that it's a crime to spread fake news. Cybersecurity would not allow that. The Minister for Information, because it's about time we arrest the situation before it becomes cancerous. You might think that you are doing that to damage this government. But look, the internet does not forget. You would damage it, but it will be flown in your face one day. And then you say, had I known. I remember the minority leader now saying that he regrets one thing, that Right Honorable Speaker Alban Bagbin advised him and he rejected. What was that? The advice was that Bagbin suggested that in the new standing orders, they should make the minority the chairman of the appointments committee. And he said no. He vehemently opposed it. He vehemently opposed it because, you know, his thinking was short, and it was a selfish thinking. Why? Because he thought that if the minority was the chairman and they are in power, it's going to affect them. He said that he regrets because of what happened, the current, appointment of ministers, where they wanted to have their way and they couldn't. Assume that he was the chairman. You see how he thought, short memories, short thinking. But at the long run, if an old man or an elder fellow advises you on issues that would bring accountability and responsibility. Because when you travel to other countries, when I was a member of parliament, I was on the Government Assurance Committee, we traveled to Uganda and met our counterparts. They were the Uganda Parliament and so on. And they told us at the time that they called those committees the accountability committees. Accountability committees, because the appointment committee, if it is headed by a minority, they are able to hold the majority to its feet. If the public accounts committee is also headed by the minority, so they call those committees that put scrutiny on appointees, accountability committees. You see, it is the only way. So moving forward, I think that those people who are engaged in fake news, it doesn't do them good, and it's not do them any this country good. I'm saying this with regard to the fake news about the 2 aircraft that they were allegedly carrying cocaine and so on.
Well, we are still yet to...
I am not even going to talk much on it because...
the bottom of it,
yes,
right?
No matter how you look at it, a medical flight cannot carry cocaine from Alabama to Ghana.
But like I said, that's why investigations are ongoing.
Yes, they will go on.
And we are still waiting as Ghanaians, we are still waiting to have the evidence from Reverend Nsimfojor.
Yeah.
And we are also waiting that if the evidence is not coming, we are waiting on the NDC, since you are in power and, you can actually make sure that the NIB arrest him for investigation, it will be done. Because both political parties haven't favored Ghanaians in any way.
How?
In one way, we are expecting as Ghanaians that, okay, if what Reverend Nsimfojor is saying is not true, then we should see the process of his arrest being done.
Okay.
In another breath, if Reverend Nsimfojor, what he's saying is also true, we expect him to provide evidence. So it's like, for we the ordinary Ghanaians, we feel the political parties, or the 2 main political parties, are juggling us around. So we don't even know who is telling the truth and who is lying. And as of now, it's been, a week, and nothing substantial has come out of it right now.
Yeah, nothing substantial cannot come because the whole thing was cooked and planted. Let me tell you the truth. They say runs marathon, and lies run sprints. They run short. If what do you call it? What is his name? Reverend Nsimfojor said was true, it will not be running. Truth is said once and for all. Truth is said once and for all. If the response that was given by fellow Sofosu Kwachi, he cannot go beyond that response. And the president said collaborate with law enforcement agencies or investigative bodies to unearthing the truth. So you have this concrete information and truth. You have not released any document, anything based on speculation. Last Saturday, if you watch, when your own colleague Samson Lade put him to the test, he ran away.
No, he didn't, actually. So what happened was his statement was over. So you see, we are in-house. Yesterday, I said it on air that I was going to investigate it and get to the bottom of it as to whether he ended up leaving the segment or his segment
after he
was
ran
over.
Away, we still saw them. We still saw the panelists sitting. Is that not true?
No. So what happens is that everybody in their segment. So like you've come in now, we end at 8. Somebody also come and continue. So that's what happens. So it doesn't mean that the morning show is over.
It was still the issue of the what do you call it? The flight conundrum was still.
No, but my producer, the producer of the show, told us that the segment was over. So he
So the tantrums he was throwing were.
There are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes after the show.
And so for me, I think, like you said, I'm with you. I'm with you that, look, if at the end of the investigation it is shown that the MP peddled untruths and falsehood, the law should take its course. If at the end of the day, too, what he said was truthful, then those who are behind it should also be taken on and so on. You see, but it is interesting that a member of parliament who is a ranking on the committee of Interior and Defense could come out to say this. And when he was under tight corner, he quickly wrote something. And then when they are talking, that better wrote, Abba. So you people think that we don't think in this country. Rosalind, is that how you people think about us? You write such an empty letter. When I'm talking better, I wrote, that's why I wrote. Really? You wrote what? You wrote what? What did you write? Anyway. And to obfuscate issues, you know what he does? That you see, there was a $350 million cocaine haul. And there was 150, it's all 1 billion. this country.
Anyway, to put all people at rest, so the best thing is to have,
you understand? That wasn't the issue. So you didn't start with that. Let's get these issues.
So that's what I'm saying.
Your issue was that 2 planes arrived here. The content of the planes were alleged to be carrying drugs and money laundering. You even said dollars. Whether they were carrying dollars, euros, we don't even know, or pounds. He said dollars, categorically meaning that he knew that the type of currency that was, then gold bars. Then when you are hot, you then go and then smuggle another cousin of that crime and bring it to the scene and say, but why are you not explaining this? It is done and dusted. Those behind us have been arrested. The government has made a public announcement. Investigations are on. Stay on what you said and let's catch you there, pants down. Don't go and be bringing tangential issues. There's a 350 million cocaine from Takoradi. That's not the issue. Media people should pin that. That was how Samson was pinning him down.
It's not about.
No, I'm not talking about you, and I'm not talking about your media. We all know how your media works. I'm not talking about your media.
To have, everybody.
I agree. I don't have any problem with that.
Both sides should do.
In fact, I don't have any problem, Rosalind, and I agree with you. And look, that was why the people vote overwhelmingly, for us to ensure that good governance takes place. So we cannot also be seen to be covering issues. Because I will keep saying, and all of us will know that younger people like you are so savvy with IT. And I keep telling people, gone are the days when a professor with tattered clothes will come and tell you that knowledge is power, and you will threaten all of us with an unkempt hair. He hasn't even bathed. He said knowledge is power and everybody is running away from. These days, you cannot say knowledge is power. Knowledge is better sharing your knowledge to people so that Rosalind with his IT savvy cannot unlock your knowledge and spread it before.
Okay, Honorable. So let me read the newspaper. We
all know these things, and that the truth runs marathon.
All right. So
lies run sprints, and the truth shall win this marathon race.
The need must be done. So let's do the needful at this point.
It is so nauseating.
The New Republic newspaper is my first.
Today, like this, one very beautiful two stories.
The New Republic newspaper. The New Republic. COVID fugitive and nabbed in grand showdown. Dirty entanglements with NPP official dom revisited. Kwabna's bulletproof scandal rocks CJ. NPP's drag drama accusations fly as past shadows present. NIB to summon former and current MDs, Afenyo, others for inquiry into stolen ECG containers, and Mohammed's approval rating source opinion poll says so. The next newspaper is a Daily Graphic newspaper. The Daily Graphic, government to stop issuing prospecting license to small-scale miners. Okay, so it looks like there's not going to be any prospecting license anymore. If it's a license, it's a license. If it's not, it's not. That's it. Ghana risk losing EU timber export license. Parliament yet to ratify protocols. New rules set for Okada riders. Okay, it looks like Okada riders are getting new rules. I think I read a little bit about it. It's very important. Persons willing to operate a commercial motorcycle or tricycle, popularly known as Okada, can only do so if they belong to a recognized tricycle transport union or employed by a licensed commercial motorcycle company. The provision to prohibit operations without belonging to a recognized union and need for riders to be at least 25 years of age is part of the new legislative instruments being drafted to amend the existing one, Road Traffic Regulations 2012, Legislative Instrument 2180. I think this is a good call. I like it. I really, really like it.
The Okada.
Yes. I like the new rules.
You know your people are Okada riders.
Which
your
people
from Upper East.
Yes, but you see, the rules are good. So we'll be able to identify anybody who tries to commit any crime and wants, people will say, oh, it's because he's riding an Okada. No, we'll be able to identify you whether you're in this group or not.
I think I would have to send it. You know, I've said it on this platform that the Okada people can be used as agents of the security. By dropping information because of the way they ride and where they go in the night, and so they're able to observe happenings within such areas and environment. But if now they are properly put into their right places, they will be confident to be reporting such crimes within our community, and it will go a long way to ride. You might think that you have picked an Okada, but he's also been trained to a kind of either film, record, or even observe and immediately transmit the information to law enforcement agency for them to arrest that situation before it turns out bad. I think it's how we begin to use them. We can not just ride in, we can also use them to glean a lot of information that will go a long way to help this country.
Right. The Overseer newspaper says credibility and fairness. Okay. Gold board is an economic game changer Ghana needs. This is coming from Dr. Ato Forsing. NDC Professional Forum founder Uncle Sam P. Yali is gone. And yes, we heard about this news on Sunday evening. May his soul rest in peace. Professor Opoku Agyemang recovering well, ignore malicious rumors that this coming from Ablakwa, and Norbert Bogbochi arrested over fraud allegations, remanded into police custody. The next newspaper is the Economy Times newspaper. The Economy Times, BOG data projects strong economic growth in 2025. Exporters analysts react to 10% U.S. tariff on Ghanaian exports amid ambassador's reassurance. And economists hopes Ghana gets IMF target waivers as it concludes its fourth review. The final newspaper is a business analyst newspaper. The business analyst, BOG engages Guta on a macroeconomic stability and growth. Lands Minister tasks PMMC to ensure mining sector operates effectively. Strategically repositioning Sankofa Gold Limited crucial, says the MD. T-bills auction, government misses target for third consecutive time. And the banner headline says Ridge Hospital saga, Access Pharmacy pops up over alleged extortion of patients. Panic grips top officials as Iyoko widens investigations. Wow. Is this what they are doing there? Wow. So there's a pharmacy there and it's called Access Pharmacy. Okay. There's a fresh twist to the ongoing saga at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, where some corrupt officials are scheming to remove the medical director, Reverend Dr. Ralph Amma, due to his anti-corruption campaign at the hospital. A business analyst has stumbled upon an unusual occurrence where a private entity's Access Pharmacy specialized request form raised a prescription for a surgical procedure at Ridge Hospital, contrary to the established procedure. Hey, the things that are happening in the country. Okay, so it says that in this case, the receipt issued to the patient was $7,000, raising questions about the currency of the transaction, transparency, conflict of interest, tax component on the receipt, amongst others. Lord have mercy. And how much was the person supposed to have paid? They didn't state that one. But anyway, Iyoko is on there. Iyoko is doing their work, and we hope that we'll get to the bottom of it. Well, the CJ has also replied to the president. And, you know, I have said it time and again that we know that government is a continuum. We are hoping that we will not have a situation where every government coming in will want to work with the people that, you know, belong to that particular political party. Yes, you can work with the person that you're comfortable with, but it doesn't have to be party colors. Well, this might not be the case, though, because the petition came from some citizens of Ghana who felt that the CJ should be removed for another person to take over. They have various reasons that they gave. Now, yesterday, the CJ responded to this because the president set a committee and it was made up of Council of State members who are supposed to advise the president as to whether the CJ should stay at post or should be removed. The CJ has finally responded during her 10-day time or opening to respond. Yesterday was the 10th day, and she did do so. Let's not forget that Honorable Eko Vincent Asefua also has filed because he says that the president actually went ahead to form this committee without the consent of the CJ or the knowledge of the CJ. The CJ was in the dark when the president decided to form this committee. So he's gone to court to put an injunction on it. So we'll hear about that as well. But Honorable Timothy Awantri-Matabwade, you know, the removal of the CJ, I know during campaign time, some persons that belong to the NDC actually did say that if the NDC should win, the CJ will be removed. And so people feel this is a witch hunt.
Let me say good morning to our viewers, even though we had started our conversations earlier because of some of these naughty issues. But be that as it may, we want to salute our viewers and so on, those who contribute to the program for its success. We are grateful. We take every contribution seriously on this platform. You see, let me pick it from where you said, people would often say a lot of things during campaign and so on. But that doesn't mean that it would operationalize or materialize when power is given to you. They say them at that time in reference to other issues. For instance, Afrobarometer reports about the conduct of the judiciary and its trust levels among the people of this country was low at all time. Global Info Analytics doing their surveys have often captured institutions that the people of this country trust most. And the judiciary has never been anywhere near even the 10th position and so on. Why do the people of this country, who pay the judiciary, who pay the executive, who pay the member of parliament, lose trust in these institutions? It means that they can reason. They can decipher what is good and what is not good. That is why the same constitution says that justice emanates from the people and justice is delivered or served in the name of the people. What it also means is that the people are bigger than the constitution, even though the constitution is supreme. In our conduct in our conduct and implementation of the content of the Constitution, it should be in consonance with the expectations of the people of this country. More often than not, why do coup d'etats or demonstrations and other things happen? They do happen because people protest. People have protested against the judiciary. People have protested against members of parliament or the executive or the big people in society because they feel that their conduct does not inure to the spirit and letter of the Constitution. It is not for nothing.
Coup d'etat is wrong, right? We still know coup d'etat is wrong, right?
No, it depends on why the coup d'etat comes on. You see, people must move from coup d'etat strong. When the coup d'etat is done, then 80% of the population gives it popular support. It moves from the stage of a coup d'etat into popular acceptance.
I don't know, I've never been in agreement of a coup d'etat.
No, I'm not saying that we are in agreement. I'm just telling because of what you chipped in. I just want to, we are all educating ourselves. You're educating, I'm educating you. So as Republic. Now, it is not for nothing that the judiciary has a central role to play and that the judiciary serves as a watershed between the executive, the legislature and the people at the center. In that case, the conduct of the judiciary must be seen to be a reflection of the wishes and aspirations of the people. Safini. Once it goes haywire, the people will protest. So the current issues about citizens of this country who are bona fide properties have petitioned the president in accordance with laid down procedure of removal of a chief justice for the president to look at their petition, and if it is found to contain enough water, he will remove the chief justice. You see, it speaks a lot. We don't know the content of the petitions and the reasons adduced.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We don't know the content. We don't know full contents, but just a few of them.
Now, the chief justice in this case, and in her own conduct before the elections and cases that have come before her empaneling and so on, had so much concern. People raised concern. Even lawyers of impeccable record have shown concern about the conduct of the Chief Justice. For instance, issues of the Supreme Court ruling that a birth certificate cannot be a proven document. What again in the world can you use? The case of the judicial even ruling that a certain speaker who is a member of parliament can vote while still sitting. These are cases that beyond the imagination of people. And looking at their experiences, they said the law lies in their bosom. Look at the cases involved, the Attorney General convincing that a sitting member of parliament should be going for daily trials. When major cases, the daily trials we were asking for, that sending off MP2, what was the country gaining from? When there are major cases before you, seeking interpretation of the Constitution, including the LGBT, when you entertain it, knowing that it is a bill.
So for you, you do agree that she should be removed?
Yes, but that is my opinion.
That's your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, a Chief Justice with so much learned knows what she's doing and entertain a bill. Come on.
So, you know, most Ghanaians feel that the NDC have this stance because this CJ was not actually put there by the president, that is this particular president, John Dramani Mahama. If we had a CJ who had been put there by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and still exhibited these, you know, should I say, attributes or something, would you have also said that the person should be removed? Those people should also know that it's not just from the NDC. We all know Justice Atuwe's comment, don't we know? We know former Chief Justice, the now Council of State, Gloria Kufu, is that her name? Her stance about the judiciary. That's a former Chief Justice. We all know Professor Kweku Azan. Her writings, her commentary on the Chief Justice. We know seasoned lawyers who are not NDC, who have had cause to question her capabilities and so on, and some rulings. We all know that the National Security Minister, Kandapa, commented about their rulings, and so these are not people of NDC extraction. But even if they were, it's just a segment of the population. We have the larger population. If you are a public officer and your conduct and your workings pleases, you cannot get 100%. Once it's above 50, you are good to go. It's above average. So even if NDC said that, but in any case, NDC has come to meet Chief Justices. They've not removed them until their tenure ends. No matter what we think, if the petitioners who put up there, whatever reasons they are adducing against the Chief Justice, if it is not in tandem with the procedure for removing a Chief Justice, it cannot fly. It must be concrete evidence that would show that this Chief Justice cannot escape scrutiny and so on. I remember the time when Professor Raymond Atobia, now the Dean of the School of Faculty of Law, put up a paper making a critique of the voting patterns of the Supreme Court and concluded that the vote based on who appointed them, that is the vote based on their political lineages. I was at that day. The former Chief Justice, who is now Council of State, was also there. She didn't take kindly to it. But Raymond Atobia, in his response, said that, look, that is my research. You can also do another research to let your findings come out with otherwise. But this is what my research showed. And he did, you know, that guy is very meticulous. He did a meticulous analysis of the rulings from when the judiciary started up today and concluded that they vote based on who appoints them and so on. But the people of Ghana do not want to hear. The people of Ghana want to see a judicial system that is fair and bold to deliver justice to the people of this country in a fair manner, said that whether you win or lose, you are at least at peace with yourself because the ruling satisfies both parties and so on. We do not want to see a judiciary that you send a petition, a parliamentary election petition. We know that members of parliament, their tenure in office is 4 years. The petition for just determining whether the votes are overvoted or not can stay at the judiciary for the next 4 years. What judiciary are we talking about? What are we talking about? Things that you can do it in a day, things that cannot see the light of the judiciary are entertained as if there's a long hand
behind those who are supposed to dispense justice in the name of God and in the name of the people of this country. So when it does that, and then you are brought, look, the fact
if
that...
you say long hand, what are you trying to say?
Long
hand? A long hand, in what way?
Hey, there are some people who are short, but their hands are long.
Well, you at home can also join the conversation. I just want to, oh, it's gone. I wanted to read a bit of it.
Now, listen to me. The fact that petitions were lodged for her removal, listen to me carefully, and she had to demand to respond to in itself is an indictment on her character and her stewardship.
Wow.
Yeah.
She has a right to.
I am not saying that. Listen to me carefully. Yeah. The fact that petitions were lodged, not one, not two, about three or so, were lodged against a chief justice, and in her panic mood requested that they cannot go ahead without her responding, and she needed 7 days. And the president said, you need 7 days, I'll give you 10 days. Do you know the meaning of that? Do you know that that statement needs to be decoded? Now, let me tell you something. It's just like you set an exam for me to write, and you know that this mathematical question you're getting, the team cannot answer it. Then I say, okay, Rosalind, give me 7 hours. And you tell the team, you can even go ahead with 24 hours, I'll give you, knowing that you are stepping on something that team will miss this thing. If the president said, you wanted 7 days, let me give you 10 days, the president knows what he's talking about.
So are you saying that the president already knows, there's already a premeditated thought that she's going to be taken out? Is that what?
No. I'm saying that the president knows what he's doing, and that he has facts. In her response, would then be able to convince the president, or in other words, turn things or the president thoughts around. But I'm just telling you that if this morning you said, team, use 5 minutes to explain this point to me, and then you say, oh, team, I can even give you 20 minutes. You know that team might not be able to explain this, and that's why we are even giving the whole day and so on. So for me, that alone... Could it also not
be that probably the president is just giving her an opportunity so that she's not removed unjustly?
Yes, but that is, even the procedure must be followed.
Yeah,
the
so
procedure I am just telling you, think deeply about what I told you.
I get you, but I'm just saying, I'm also playing the devil's advocate. Maybe it is not that she can't respond. Maybe he just doesn't want it to seem
No, I'm not saying that she cannot respond.
No, I mean...
Because Professor Kwekwaza, we know how meticulous he will not put up a petition to remove the Chief Justice if he's not having concrete evidence for the removal. In fact, he knows how the Constitution goes and the procedure for the removal of justices of the Supreme Court. He knows very well. And you remember that he has gone to the Supreme Court on a number of occasions to challenge some rulings and some aspects of the Constitution. So such a fellow putting up a petition against the Chief Justice plus the other people who put up cannot be a walkover or a walk in the park. It will mean that there are so many concrete reasons for which they had to petition the president for her removal. And I want to hasten slowly, but we know that the Chief Justice I've often said that, look, as we all sit here, it does not even matter. That's my opinion anyway. You can even be an MPP chairman, and then you are made the Chief Justice. Look, or this chairman, you are made the Chief Justice. It is your conduct that will really show how independent and thoughtful you are. Whether your dispensation of justice is anchored on the principles of the Constitution and it is done in the name of the people of this country, then that will insulate you from unnecessary political attacks. Because when you sit in that chair, you have so much power that when you look at people before the court, sometimes you don't even have much to say because the judge sitting will just say, no, answer this. So they have enormous power, and that power must be used carefully. And and use in a way that at the end of the day we are all satisfied with.
Okay.
So for me, whatever that the petition contains, I know that at the end of the day we have privilege. I don't know how it is done to know, because some petitions sometimes we get to know the. Unfortunately, we have not known the. We will not also know the content until the Council of State. But remember that the Council of State too. I am so much satisfied with the composition now, because we have a former Speaker of Parliament, whom you know and all of us know that he's also not a Nino at the law. He's a seasoned lawyer who has gone through the mill. In the case of Speaker Duajaho, we have lawyer Avoka.
I just want my viewers at home to know that they can join the conversation. So you can go ahead and send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Let's hear your take on this particular issue about the removal of the CJ, the process to remove the CJ. Yesterday being the 10th day, the CJ has finally replied to these allegations that are being made against her. We don't know the content of her response. However, I know that it will come out eventually. We will get to know it eventually. Yeah. But, you know, when she petitioned that she wanted to have the document, she put it on social media and people blasted her about it. Yes. So this time around, she followed due process by not using social media as her first point, but rather follow the due process. And so let's hear your voices this morning as well. 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. You can also send your messages or leave your comments on our Facebook as we're streaming live. We will appreciate those comments, and trust us, we will read all your comments. Okay, so let's do this together. Yes, Honorable.
So, and then we have a former Chief Justice on it. So it's going to be interesting when all these things come to play. She's also a woman too at the same time. So we are going to see for the first time a Council of State that has been confronted with the removal of a Chief Justice. It's going to be a novelty of the Chief Justice.
So for you, it has nothing to do with witch hunting?
I don't think it has. If it is witch hunting, just witch hunting, you can know the Constitution is the protection for the justices. It's so watertight that it is not easy to use witch hunting to remove them. You remember the famous statement by Atamis, when Atamis said, "Do I look like a cat hunter?" About the same removal of the Chief Justice when we came to power. You remember the statement when a journalist, I think Kobe, asked him that there have been speculations that the Chief Justice will be removed, and there are several ways of killing a cat. And Atami's response was, "Do I look like a cat hunter?" You understand? So it is not an easy thing to also remove a Chief Justice who has not offended the Constitution. You can witch hunt. You can talk bad.
Everybody, in a way, offends the Constitution. In a way, I mean, there's nothing like a perfect human being.
Because of that, there are protections for them. We all offend the Constitution. Your offense and my offense will not be the same thing. When the one dispensing justice offends it. Remember, their pronouncement can destroy your life. Their pronouncements and rulings becomes law. These laws come to bind us, engender camaraderie, or it can break us apart. Whatever it is, the Constitution is their guide, is their standard for dispensing justice in this country. So they should be seen to be doing what the people of this country is expected of them. There's no way our biases, our innuendos, you name them, can remove a Chief Justice. It must be concrete. The evidence against him must be really impeachable or actionable. If not, we cannot remove by just wish hunting and thinking that the Chief Justice has done A, B, C, D or not. Such wishes is not. If not, more Chief Justices would have even been removed before her. That's why I cited the case of Mills, where Kobe Fiagbar, I remember the name, a journalist who asked him that there have been rumors that the Chief Justice will be removed, and that time, I think Dr. Kobna our former chairman, said there are several ways of killing a cat. I've never killed a cat. I don't know how a cat is killed. But what I know is that Mills' response was that he was not a cat hunter. meaning that he cannot remove the Chief Justice by mere speculations, by mere conjectures, by mere figment of imagination. You need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the Chief Justice has done ABC.
Okay.
And I know that the petitioners in this case would have had concrete evidence to petition. But like you said, as time passes by, we would see the content of her response, the petitioners, and ordinarily we can also make our mind and make commentary on it.
Well, let's hear from you at home as well. You can send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Saaka Salia, representing the NPP, is finally here. Saaka.
Yeah, Rosalind.
You are very, 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 very late.
Yeah, I'm late.
But he holds a title for that. He has an Olympic title for coming late.
It's for a reason. Anyway, I'm here.
Saaka.
Oh, I've been here like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you walked in, I saw you.
Ah, okay. So you are confirming that.
So you've been here for like 5 minutes before you came into the studio.
Yeah,
5, not 10. So I saw you. So I know how long you've been. You've been in the studio for.
You glanced me from the corner of your eye.
Yes. So I've seen you. Anyway, you are here, like you said. We are still on the discussion about the petition to remove the CJ. Yesterday, she finally replied to that petition. And we don't know the content of her response yet. We are yet to know. But I asked Honorable if it was more of a witch hunt. But he says no. Of course, the people that petitioned are not party affiliated. They are more of citizens who felt that, her conduct hasn't been great to be a CJ. And so she should be removed for somebody who can perform the duties better to be there. For the NPP, what do you people think about it? Because she was actually appointed by the president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to apologize for coming late. Better late than never. Let me say hi to my brother too. He's also fought hard for the NDC, but up to now I don't know what they are doing for him.
Do fiasco. I think the same meal said that.
This man. Anyway, first of all, he said these are not party apparatchiks who are the petitioners. How did he know that? I thought the content of the petition and then the petitioners themselves were not known to the public. I don't know whether the NDC communication team had, in that privileged position, were brief as to who are the petitioners. If not, I don't think that he would have come to that conclusion. That, he knows for a fact that these petitioners are not party people. Because nobody knows. First of all, I am very sad. Very, very, very sad when I heard that the Chief Justice was the President was being petitioned for the removal of the Chief Justice. Because I know from day one that the NDC intended to do that. It would have been a surprise if they had not done that. And from here, they are going to Jane Mensah. I mean, these are known facts, open secret to every impartial observer of our political scene. Why am I saying that I'm sad? I'm sad because we chose democracy for ourselves. And in democracy, there are checks and balances. Once those checks and balances are institutions, we have the executives, the judiciary, and the executive, the judiciary, and let's say parliament. And these are supposed to the legislature. These are supposed to do oversight works. That's what we call constitutionalism. One look at the other. One checks make the other. The very day that we will have an executive president that have unfettered powers, that will be the end of our democracy. The day that we will have a president that controls executive, the legislature, and then the judiciary, that will be the end of this country's democracy. But when these people were in opposition, they serve as notice that if they get the opportunity, that's exactly what they are going to do. The president met with NDC lawyers. That's NDC candidate, as he then was, met with NDC lawyers and said that when they come, they will do the balancing act to balance the equation that the MPP had inundated the judiciary with their functionaries, and that when they come, they are going to ensure that they do more than that so that they will be...
But did the MPP do that?
No, the MPP hasn't done that, so...
So the MPP didn't do that?
No. Because I don't want to, use that one and delay and... So, this way, the notice that they serve us, that they are coming to do what they are coming to do. And they cannot do that without, first of all, going for the jugular. The head of the judiciary. Once they get the head of the judiciary, now they can have a stronghold of the judiciary. And after getting the stronghold of the judiciary, then they will move. Because today, if the petition for the removal of the Jimensa, for instance, and then there is a prima facie case, it has to take the Chief Justice to empanel the committee. And therefore, let's ensure that we go for the jugular, and then from there, then they will move on. That's the reason why I'm sad. For instance, our liberties, our rights, and all those things, if the executives cannot uphold them, or even if the executives violate your right as you are sitting here, our next bastion of hope is the judiciary. Because when you have a very good judiciary that can oppose to anybody, including the executive, you can walk with your chest out that even if somebody violates my rights, there's an independent body that will look into it and give me or safeguards and provide those safeguards for our existence. Now, John Dramani Mahama and his NDC says that once now they are controlling, Parliament. They are controlling Parliament. They want to control. They already have the executive. And now they want to control the judiciary. So what do? Let's get the Chief Justice. Even when there are cases, if we even take frivolous cases, we will have our own Chief Justice who will empanel favorable members of the bench so that they will rule in our favor. So maybe you haven't done anything. But they can take you to the courts and then go and fetch and look for judges that will be favorable to their cause. Okay. And then
But Saaka, you see, there are some people out there who also feel that this precedent has been set by the MPP because, in a way, when the MPP also came, the MPP also decided to put their people. That's why I asked you the question.
To put which people?
You put, of course, we saw the president put judges in positions. We saw the president,
Which president has never put judges?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Wait, Saaka,
that wasn't the president anyway.
My question is, we've seen the removal of some chief justices, and they've been put in, others have been placed there. And, people are of the school of thought that...
Remove some chief justices?
Some people are of the school of thought.
No chief justices have been removed. Yeah, the premise must be right anyway.
I'm coming. Some people are of the thought that, we do this because our party is in power. Now, seeing that, let's even take a look at the EC. EC was removed, when you came to power. And so people are of the school of thought that it seems that every government that comes, and when I did my opening, that's what I said. I said, we are hoping to get to the level where, as we say, government is a continuum. We will not have a government come in and say that I'm putting this person here, I'm putting that person here because of petitions from people. Because to the ordinary Ghanaian, it looks like a witch hunt. So if you are in power, to you it's not witch hunt, but the opposition feels it's witch hunt. Okay, once the opposition comes to power and does the same, it becomes like a witch hunt.
Let me deal with the matter. Let me deal with the matter. Your premise was very wrong. No Chief Justice has ever
I know no Chief Justice has been removed, but there are other people. There are other people that have been removed, right? Okay.
You wait. Secondly, those High Court judges that were removed, we all know the reason. I mean, the announced expose. Some of them took bribes and all that, and then there was a prima facie case that the Chief Justice sets a committee, and then the committee found them guilty. It has nothing to do with politics and all that. You talk about the removal.
But how do we say this has anything to do with politics?
Please, I mean, from that one, I mean, clear, and even on the surface.
It's political.
No, I'm saying on the surface, those justices that were removed.
I get you, but I'm just asking that how do we say that this one has political
I've started to even explain to you the genesis of all these things. Why it would have been surprising if the NDC had not gone for the Chief Justice remover.
Okay. It would have been surprising.
It would have been surprising.
Okay.
Because they served notice that this is what they want to do.
Okay.
And you can use anybody. And right now, I'm also sad again that we don't have the content. To even say, I mean, that, because Charlotte Osai was removed and all those things, the MPP said president. No. Remember, Charlotte Osai, even her own deputies wrote petitions against her. So her presence in office was no longer tenable at that time. Her own deputies, Amadou Sule, would just pass on, and some others, Amankwa, something, that lady, and one other person, including the petitioners themselves. These people wrote against her, the workers and everybody. Her presence in the Electoral Commission was so toxic. So it wasn't political. So no precedent was set by the MPP. To be honest, I am telling you, I mean, keen, impartial observers will tell you that the removal of Charlotte Osai has nothing to do with politics. But this particular one, somebody want to control executive, legislature, and the judiciary. And we should be worried. We should be 100% worried because, look, when you have all these organs of state...
A minute more, please.
...in one person's hand, he can use it like a malleable clay to do whatever that he wants to do. And that will be sad. He can use it to, like, for instance, today they can do any law. Even if that law is obnoxious, they have the numbers. You and I should be praying that, no, let us not give absolute control of all organs of state to one particular person. But alas, that is what the NDC yearned for. And now they go for this trump-up petition with all manner of reasons that they adduce there. The Chief Justice, we all know, in reality and in all honesty, is one of the most competent Chief Justices that we ever had. One of the most competent Chief Justices. I have said so elsewhere, that she's even more competent than the president of the land today.
Don't you think that...
And then you go and sit down with your people and say that let's petition and remove her.
Don't you think that in the year 2017, when there was petition to remove Charlotte Osai, the NDC also said that Charlotte Osai was competent, and there were petitions that were coming in from people that also felt she was not competent. At this point, we have people who are also petitioning the president to remove her because probably they feel she's not competent, but you are saying she's competent.
Yeah, I mean...
So it's like everybody and what they see is wrong and right,
It's not about what the NDC said then, because it was in their interest that Charlotte Osai continued to be in office because she was from their fold and all that. But if you look, if you check the petition, there was a prima facie case. The process went on. A committee was set. The committee look at the stated misbehavior. You know, because there are three grounds that normally use: stated misbehavior, infirmity of body and mind, and one other. And if you look at it, she fell short in competence.
And so somebody, maybe the person who is petitioning or the three persons petitioning also feel the same about the Chief Justice.
You see, as for feeling, anybody can have feelings. As to whether your feeling can, get to that threshold of removal of not anybody but the Chief Justice will beat my imagination. Okay. This Chief Justice has not done anything palpable.
All right.
That one can see that, she has committed some infractions in the law or against even her office and for anybody to go and sit down and manufacture a petition and reasons why she should be removed to the extent that the president was all over the place, and even nearly violated some of the cardinal procedures that are used. Because you cannot go ahead, give the petition to the Council of State without serving her and to get the prima facie a case first.
Well,
but she herself has to write.
That's why a convincent has taken it to court, right?
Yeah. And where is he? There's going to be sitting of the Supreme Court to rule on the matter of injunction and all that. I pray that they will even injunct the whole process, because to me, I see it to be a witch hunt. They just want to witch hunt this woman out of office. Because look, why would you do that? This is the second or the third woman or fourth woman or so of the land. You said that, you want to empower women.
All right, Saaka, I'll come back to you. Your time.
To remove a woman who has not done nothing.
Okay, Saaka, thank you very much. Honorable, I need to read a few messages. If we have our messages ready, please, can I have the messages as Honorable make a point? Just 1 minute so that I can read them.
You see, we don't take lectures from a failed MPP government. NDC is not prepared to take lectures on good governance from them. What is this issue of he's more competent than the president? You came and opened a constitution, say you're a law student. The president is the head of the executive. This is the head of the judiciary. Parliament, the head is speaker. What has competent got to do with the three arms of government? Are we running a system that enables the president to be a head of the judiciary? Definitely not. You can't go and do your own well-rehearsed statements and come and put them out here. In any case, if we say we are witch hunting her, a witch cannot hunt you if you don't do anything wrong. When you step in the line of a witch, he will catch you. If you don't, he will not catch you. So the petitions that have been lodged, you were questioning, how did I get to know? Were you not in power when Professor Kweku Azan lodged the petition against for the removal of the Chief Justice?
Also,
please.
You are asking me a question.
Please.
Were
you not in office?
This is a question you asked.
And it's a rhetorical, you can write it down.
No, I can't write.
And then let me tell you something. You see, this issue, when we want good governance, if we want good governance, good governance also entails that people who are responsible must be held accountable. You cannot have public officers who, when they do wrong, and then the public, the same public who have entrusted the power to them, are taking them, and then you wear your coat and come and sit here and tell that we are witch hunting. You see, this irritating statement should stop. Look, I bet you, if there's no prima facie in the documents, in the reasons for the petitioners, no one will entertain them. You may hate her.
No, they are not going to rule on the prima facie.
Please. No one, you may hate her, like you are saying, but you cannot remove her based on hatred and based on witches and witchcraft.
So you are wasting your time.
So allow the waste of time to come.
You are making
in any case, when Charlotte Osei petition was brought, there were dead people's names in it. There were some of them unsigned. And when it had happened, why didn't you throw the petition away? Why did you call yourself a conveyor belt? Why didn't you do that? You even return it for signing.
Yeah, Bobby.
You even return. No. That is not your matter.
That's normal.
No, it's not normal. Look, a group of people petition for your removal. When there's a mistake, even in the court, a mistake in the trial can throw the whole case.
It doesn't go into the core of the matter.
I'm not coming.
Therefore,
you say you were a conveyor belt.
Okay.
Because you're a conveyor belt, you have to send a petition back for people to sign. Who does that? Is that good governance?
All right, let me read the
we are balancing the judiciary.
balancing the judiciary because you people have overpopulated the judiciary with MPP card-bearing members. A candidate of the MPP who stood elections was, you know how impartial the judiciary as a law student. Then you come here this morning and close your eyes because you have been briefed with talking nose. And when you can. You are so straight-jacketed that you cannot even be flexible. Look, my brother, let us be serious in this country.
All right,
every appointment, including Saaka and myself, even private citizens, our conduct must give even our neighbors, freedom to act. How much more if you entrust public power to people, they must be held accountable for the usage of that power.
All right, let me read news messages. Messages have come in. Good morning, Rosalind, from Airbus to Ahmed. I believe you have seen the true colors of the Umbrella Party now. Barely 4 months in office and how many scandals, uncountable sacking of people with legitimate appointment, drugs, cocaine, flying containers at the port, missing excavators, money laundering, and they think Reverend Tim Fojo is making noise. The government's posture is even more worrying and suspicious than a mere allegation they claim to be. Anytime NDC is in power, something flies. Good morning, Rosalind. The real issue I see is the mystery of the air ambulance. What was the purpose of this flight in Ghana? The people are so bent on covering up why we had an air ambulance here at that time. All right. Please, you what to tell us something tell lies on Reverend Tim. We all saw it live. He left the show because the messages were against him. No, he didn't leave the show because of that. Please, let's clear the air on it. No, he didn't leave the show. The segment was over. No, the segment, no, it's not like that. Please, yes. Let me clear the air. I'm begging you. We have segments within the show. Yes. This is Prime Morning. On Prime Morning, we have News Flash, we have What's Trending, we have Sports, we have Today, we have Good Living, we have Entertainment. And so when your segment is done, you leave. There are some people that end up staying for other segments. It doesn't mean that when your segment is done, you have to. Yes, there are sometimes we read the messages, we'll finish the show, you might not be happy, but the fact that you left during that, after the segment doesn't mean that you're upset. You might have, you walked out. You might have been upset when we were reading the messages, but you didn't walk out of the show.
But you yourself,
Samson brought all these
No. You yourself, he himself said that. And that was the conclusion. He himself talked about the messages. Didn't he himself say it? That was why Erastus Asare said that Samson is not a class 1 journalist. And then you appear on, say, he himself said that where was he reading the messages from?
No, I mean,
disagreed.
Samson's messages were from people. It wasn't cooked.
Yeah, it wasn't cooked.
But nobody said
it. He said it was cooked.
He said it was cooked.
We are not saying it was cooked, but he
said
it was cooked.
No, it was never cooked.
But we know that it was
not his reason for saying that.
It was never cooked.
It was never cooked, because they published it.
They came from the...
But he didn't leave the show because of those messages.
He left the show because...
No, he wasn't happy about the messages.
He was upset about
that were read, and he didn't have the opportunity to react to them. But you remember, immediately after those messages, he wanted to react to some of the messages.
But you can't react to messages in your time.
No, you can, because if somebody tunes something against you and you read it, and you find it worthy to read it, then somebody else...
All right, let me go ahead and read a few messages. Good morning. If I see people who wish President Bawumia President Power, then I begin to ask myself that how do we see Ghana? Or people are wearing some spectacle that's making them to see Ghana as a small community which needs only Please, I'm not going to read this. If you're sending messages, please let your messages be very respectable messages. And I'm saying this again. If it's not a respectable message, I will not read it. From Abdul Karim Zugulana, Gushegu in the Northern Region. Good morning, Roslyn, and your panelists. So far, so bad on the part of the communication led by 78 million propaganda ministry. How can an airplane with tire problems was able to land in Kotoka? The lies are just too much. We need a credible response from government, since the ranking member on Defense and Interior Committee further provided more information and details yesterday at poll show up to. We haven't gotten any response from Felix again. Honorable Felix has taken Ghanaians for granted too much. What kind of shallow and concocted response did he provide? We are waiting for him to come back with a better response. Is it what? Ahmed has confirmed that the airplane with registration number has not been in operation since December. So if it's not been in operation since December...
The medical ambulance. Yeah, that one. Did you see their statement? Please.
The removal.
Sorry.
No, but you actually agree to it.
But he's reacting to the messages.
But you agree to it. The removal of Chief Justice at this time is not what Ghanaians are interested in. Solve the doom, so stop the galamsey and conduct proper investigations into the cocaine issues regard to Ajia Safia Mohammed, incoming MPP National Women's Organizer. Good morning, Rosalind. It's very interesting how government officials are all out to run down Reverend Tim Fodro and discredit him to make the airplane cocaine saga look empty. It's not only true, the same issues raised by Honourable Member caused the President to be the first person to respond to it and actually ordered state security to collaborate with the Honourable Member to conduct an investigation into the matter. This whole airplane cocaine saga smells fishy, and I suspect the media to wake up, or I expect the media to wake up and exhibit a high level of journalism. Amino and Sawum. Amino, we are all waiting for, the due process to happen. That's what I said, that for the ordinary citizens or the people in the media, what we are expecting is that if there's any evidence of any sort, the evidence must be shown to us. If the government is also saying that the Reverend Tim Fodro is lying, we expect that the due process must be followed and Reverend Tim Fodro will be picked up and investigations will happen. And both parties, yes, both parties haven't done it. No, both parties haven't done what the need for us Ghanaians. And so both parties are playing us. So NDC is playing us, MPP is playing us. Both parties are playing us as of now. Good morning, Joy Prime. Why are all government communicators jumping the gun and are prejudicial about this flight issue? Why are they not as quick to and letting the public know about the cocaine and currencies busted a couple of weeks ago? What about if it turns that the info Reverend Fodro dropped is true? And as much as I expect the minority to be responsible and check the government as the NDC also did in opposition, I expect the government not to be arrogant and rude to criticism. As for the removal of the CJ, it is well calculated in opposition and it can't be coincidence. NDC is always perfect and infallible according to the NDC man in the studio, and he said his opinion is that she should be removed. Why can't let the law determine her removal? Emmanuel M.E.K. Gonyu Pezi. Good morning, beautiful. President Mahama and NDC is deliberately trying to remove CJ for political crucifixion of former government appointees. But let me assure NDC and President Mahama that it won't hold water. Ghanaians are watching. We shall ensure political tantrums and backbiting. Oh, we shall ensure, okay? 2028 is just around the corner. Basai Komla Matthias, all right? Good morning, my daughter Roslyn. The CJ should better eat a humble pie. No matter what, she should be removed to pave way for the smooth resetting of Ghana. Nanaka Kari Techiman. Master Raman Tuna Sola, good morning, beautiful. In fact, Reverend Tim Fodro should stay away from propaganda politics. Just look at how all Ghanaians are disappointed in him. Everyone, including myself, are shocked because of the respect we have for him. And that's why you hear everyone, including the NDC, saying he's a fine man. Reverend Tim Fodro said the air ambulance did not carry any patients, and if it does, they want to see the person, forgetting that it only landed in Ghana because it's developed faults. If an ambulance is passing through my community and developed faults and has to park for maintenance and there is no sick person in it, must I raise an alarm? Must ambulance carry sick person at all time? In Tim Fodro, please leave noise making for Abronya DC. Good morning, sister host and your guests. It's very sad listening to the MPP guests these days. They do not see, don't know truth and refusing to accept the counsel. May Allah wake them up from their sleep. Amen. Okay. Mr. Majid from Bechim, Toronto. Ban on corporal punishment is a curse on our education system. Those who took the decision to ban corporal punishment made a very big mistake, and that's exactly what... Gentlemen, please, I need a bit of silence in the studio. Thank you very much. That's exactly what we're experiencing today. How can a student come to school with a gun? Is it not suicidal? You will still get people to defend him. Marigas Honorable. Yes, I think that this particular issue, we have to take it up and do a proper discussion on it. you know, yes, because the gun is, I was so worried. Yesterday, my daughter was even telling me that she has heard that something of that sort has also happened in KNUST, aside the one that happened in the SDA secondary school, you know, where a young man shot 2 of his classmates. I mean, how dare you? This is Ghana. When did we get here? Something must be done about it. I think we'll take time and do a proper discourse on that conversation. Anyway, this country is a beautiful one indeed, my beautiful sister. Today, Saaka has a moral right to question the removal of a public officer from office. When they were doing it to others, it was okay, but when others do it, it is bad. Really, Ghana is not for some class of citizens of a particular political inclination. Good morning, please. The removal of CJ is good. The CJ, the work for you is not a family. Someone was to work before. All right, so sometimes I struggle. AI can do your work for you. So when you type in and, you know, that typographical errors, just put in AI. AI will correct it for you. Or GPT will correct it for you, and then you just send it to us, okay? No, it's done. It's very easy. So you just download the app on your phone.
You want me to know by force?
Yes. Because we are sending it to national television. Do it, and then we'll read it. We'll be able to read it. Else we'll struggle. We can't read your message. I want to read my people's messages. Justin from Amaseman. Good morning, Rosalind. So the NPP has run away from the truth of Adwoa Safo and playing tricks. Please, madam, leave the NPP and join a party that we Ghanaians, who is in the NPP? Okay, Adwoa Safo should leave the NPP. That we Ghanaians can tap and benefit from your wisdom and potential, because NPP has finished benefiting from you and dump you as they did to Dr. Rekubrebe, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, Paul Afoko, and others. So be wise. Good morning, Rosalind. I've learned that based on incompetence and misbehavior, a Chief Justice should be removed. Now, the question is, are these things found? I could remember the issues of the people of Sal and many others. If these are not incompetence, then what? Honorable is right. We can't take lectures from a failed MPP members. This from Togbi Banini Keta. Good morning, Joy Prime. I find it so difficult watching the NDC man on TV. He doesn't make solid arguments and is being too... Okay, that's your opinion. All right, thank you very much. Good morning. Saaka is saying today that he is sad one man is going to control executive, judiciary, and parliament. Was it not during their recent past MPP taught us how to chop power? Who was controlling these three during Nanado's time? We are in a new era. Allow us to reset the country. Philemon from Joapa.
Well, we controlling. Even parliament was a hung parliament.
It was a hung parliament.
So, yeah, so we were not controlling it.
That was the last.
Yeah.
All right, Akonsi Gariba from Tamale. It's so pathetically listening to the NDC communicators. President Mahama and the NDC want the CJ to be removed to satisfy the NDC humiliation loss of the NDC election petition of the 2020 election. The most shameful aspects of the NDC determination to remove the CJ is because the NDC went to court without election results and were expected to win the election petition. Why does the NDC want to determine court outcome cases by themselves? This shameful act of the removal of the CJ should not be allowed to stand, else the court in Ghana will be determined by the NDC, which will be sad for the people of Ghana. All right.
He hasn't yet sent us the...
My regards to Dr. Mahmoud Baomi. All right.
Hasn't sent us the one this
Good morning, madam. Tell Saaka we, the people of Upper West, are disappointed. All right, okay. So I'm trying not to be reading things that Saaka also get upset with me this morning. I don't want. I don't want issues. I want Saaka to live very happy. I don't want to wake up and then I'll see anything on social media and I'm trending. And Saaka says, Rosie, you concocted messages. I didn't concoct any message. Good morning, I'm Dave. That's, by the way, though, it's just something funny for us to laugh over. Good morning, I'm David. Have the MPP man doesn't know what he's saying. When it's suits them, it's okay. When it does not, it's bad. It can be witch hunting or wizard hunting, whatever they call it, so be it. All right.
No, it cannot be it. Yeah.
Okay.
Democracy doesn't tolerate witch hunting.
Good morning, everyone. NDC and John Mahama promised Ghanaian jobs and not dismissal. Just in 3 months, they have revoked over 40,000 people appointments. So the petition to remove the CJ is not news. Madam President Nanado never removed any CJ Christian from... Okay, so Roslyn, what is Saaka saying? Who shows partisan politic behavior than Torkornoo? We all saw how she threatened lawyer Sori and his behavior in a hurriedly panel bench in Afenyo Markin and the speaker case. If I were her, I would have resigned rather than waiting to be discussed like Sheikh is doing. She will go whether black or white.
Can I
more
react to
MVP than yes.
No, I mean this particular one because look. Parliament was in abeyance. Parliament was no longer working, and therefore it was a priority to everybody that the Chief Justice should, consider empaneling the bench so that they listen to.
Parliament was not in abeyance.
No, Parliament was no longer working.
It was not true.
Parliament was not working.
That's why Sori said that.
Please.
Are we talking about Parliament? Parliament was not in abeyance. Parliament was working. That's why the
Parliament was not working.
Parliament was suspended.
Parliament was.
How was Parliament working?
It was not suspended.
No, it was not suspended, but by being locked, Parliament and took the key away. You all know it. We all know that part. So you think the Chief Justice will sit down? The Chief Justice will sit down and allow this and not give it a priority.
That's why when Sori drew the Chief Justice's attention that the matter before you is not about Parliament being suspended. The Chief Justice agreed. So don't sit here.
No,
when the woman
it was
agreed.
A priority.
All right, so don't forget that the teacher brought all this upon herself for the very day she frowned on the then candidate Hama Afegafin and later smiled to him when she was swearing him in at the Independence Square. For me, I think she's overstayed her welcome. Isel from UCC. NPP and hypocrisy. Was he sad when Charlotte was removed? We are in a democracy. That's why there's removal processes enshrined in our constitution. Was a petition brought against her under Nanado's term? So why is he jittering? Mr. Saaka, please, you are not the god of determining what is political and what isn't. Please, let's also wait to see if she will also fall short of competence, like you say. Farmer from Takrade. All right, good morning, Roslyn. Good morning, Roslyn. Anytime God bless me with a child, I will name her after you. Keep doing the good work of Madagana. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, wow. God will bless you with a child. Thank you so much. The CJ must go because under anybody can predict the outcome of the ruling of the Supreme Court. My regards to my sister, Senator Rollins from Rollins Boy, Cape Coast.
He said he will name the child after you.
No, that he would never name a child Saaka his lifetime.
Good morning, host. The removal of EC and CJ is long overdue, but we must go beyond the petition and impeach them for abusing their offices. Officials who conspire to disenfranchise the people of Sal have no right to be in office. Again, a CJ who bans our birth certificate or closes the courts to prevent access to the judiciary is not fit for purpose. We need a clean up of the judiciary since the unanimous FC is an existential threat to peace and rule of law. All right.
His name, was all over the place.
Good morning, madam. If a CJ can rule that a birth certificate cannot show your nationality, then what? She has even kept long. Kojo from Cape Coast. It looks like,
apart from he being
so these are.
What he was saying, what the Chief Justice was saying then was that if we are born in Ghana and you possess a birth certificate, it doesn't necessarily make you a Ghanaian. You can be a foreigner and you. Yeah,
is that what the Chief Justice said?
The
Saaka
birth certificate.
Saaka, is that what the Chief Justice said?
Exactly so.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Exactly so.
Don't do that.
No, that is what she said.
If he who doesn't know that, just who does not know that? No, Rosalind, you are not a lawyer, don't you know? We teach when we are teaching students, we tell them about citizenship and
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. So is it because of that opinion that somebody wrote a petition for a removal?
Saaka, have you been a teacher?
It doesn't make sense.
Anyway, good morning. Why is the government wasting time on the propaganda from NPP? They should ignore them and focus on their vision they have for Ghana. It's for the NPP, the 38.2% is still affecting the Nima. Good morning, Roslyn. If the government were to wait on the air and cocaine saga, the NPP would have said the allegations were true. That's why the government was wasting time in reacting. Now the government is proactive too. Is another problem. Justin from Amasaman. All right. So yes, I do. I've been picking and choosing.
But today you've read a lot.
Yeah, I've read a lot, but I've been picking and choosing a lot too. I'm trying as much as possible. Hi, good morning, Ajia Roslyn. Hey, okay, this title is good.
But you were looking good. You were looking
Thank you
good
very
in
much.
the Islamic
Thank you so much.
Yes,
This is Abdul Kadiru, Bakarigu, Savannah region. Unfortunately, there are so many people
You want to
who
win a
can't,
soul.
who can't wait for CJ removal merely because she hasn't danced to the tune of their political bootlicking music. The country is governed by law, not baseless emotions. Thank you, Madam CJ, for responding to President Mahama. All right. Okay, so I've read a lot. I've read a lot. I still have a lot here. Oh, my goodness. All right, so the CJ seat is not a family stew. The one who brought her is long gone. What is she still waiting for? All right, so I'll do just one more and then...
Office no condominus.
Good morning, Madam Roslyn. Greetings to my Honorable Timothy Awantrim Atabuade. Great submissions there. The CJ is in bed with the corrupt micro-minority. Therefore, if the judicial wants to keep its integrity, then the notorious CJ must be removed. Roslyn, I would be disappointed in the Speaker and Majority Leader if they fail to name the MP who made the daughter of Medra comment. 3, they shouldn't take democracy for granted on the people. We are watching them with eagle's eyes. I'm still hoping to hear congratulations messages for Honorable Timothy Awantrim Atabuate. Awini Matthew from Apau East Region. Please, Saaka, did you just say that on live TV? Don't say that on live TV. What you said? No.
That's what we have parliamentary language.
Once,
you can say it, but
almost every day, parliamentarians have been saying some of
No. But what you say is that that's what they call it unparliamentary.
Yes. Wrong is wrong. So let's not make it seem as though it's okay.
So
wrong is
it might be
wrong and
unparliamentary,
right
but it
is
doesn't
right.
mean
No, but
it's
wrong
not a
is wrong.
criminal
Anyway,
It's a criminal offense.
Ajua Safo, Honorable Ajua Safo, the beautiful Ajua Safo, a member of the NPP, went on a rant about a month ago, speaking about some of the things that her party had done to her that she wasn't too happy about. Now, the party issued a communique to stop her from speaking, but she did not. And they went ahead to sanction her to face the disciplinary committee. Yesterday, she went to face the disciplinary committee, but to her surprise, they didn't show up. It's still the month of April. I don't want to see it as an April Fool. But then Honorable Ajua Safo did not get to meet the disciplinary committee. She actually said that she was very disappointed that they couldn't communicate to her as to why the meeting didn't come on, or they didn't even tell her that the meeting was not going to come on. They made her dress up and go for the meeting only to realize that nothing was happening at the office. And people are saying that the party is taking Honorable Ajua Safo for granted. And so she has to sit up and make a decision. But then again, she is a party member, a beloved one. Her blood runs blue, white, and red. Why would she want to leave such a party? Now, this conversation is up next. And of course, you can send in your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. So, Facebook viewers as well, don't forget to leave your messages on the comment section for us to read it. And if I should read Facebook right now, should I do it, producer? All right, so we'll move into this conversation, and you can leave your comments there. I'll be reading my Facebook comments pretty shortly. But Honorable Timothy, I want to... you ended the last one, so let me go to Saaka. Saaka.
Yes.
Your party, it seems like people feel, again, the feeling is there because it's just because of what you're doing. What we see in the eyes, that Ajua Safo is not being treated fairly by the party.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I mean, everybody can have his feelings, like I said earlier. But your feeling must contain some modicum of weight, you know, to qualify to be a proper one that can be used, you know, as truism. But you see, what is happening, or what happened on Sunday, it's so innocuous. It's not anything that has gone into the heart of the matter. Look, it has always happened all the time. She was invited for making comments, even after the party had preyed on her to exercise some modicum of circumspection. But she did not. And in order for the party to stem that tide and to ensure that nobody is bigger or nobody is seen to be bigger than the party invited her to the disciplinary committee to come and answer why her so-called intransigence, is taking root and can also be used by others. Because look, if the party does not stem that tide and allow free range for any and everybody within the party to go out there, I mean, some of us, if we can also go there and talk our mind and all that. And even the president himself, who almost everybody is blaming, can also go there and also blame others. If that free-for-all blame game is being played, at the end of the day, we won't have a political party. And therefore, the party tried to call her to come and answer questions. But there was some, the party invited her on that Sunday, but something cropped up, and then the party decided that they will postpone it, and actually wrote back. Unfortunately, she did not get the postponement of the disciplinary committee here.
So you know that the party wrote to her?
Yeah, I mean, the letter is there. I mean, the letter is in the media.
Okay.
The letter for the postponement is in the media.
When did it come to the media?
Oh, I mean, on that very day.
Which day?
Sunday.
Do you have a copy?
Sunday.
It came into the media on Sunday, but she went there yesterday.
Yeah, but
you saw it on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday
and her people, everybody didn't see it on Sunday.
I don't know whether she saw it or not. And it can be...
But she said she didn't see it.
She can genuinely not have seen it.
If we have the video, producers, the video at the back, can we play the video so that Saaka will listen to what Honorable Ajwa?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is possible.
Want you to watch it.
It is possible she hasn't seen it.
No, don't worry.
But that doesn't make the statement.
Please play the video
that
for us.
There was postponement false.
Please play the video for us.
Has been suspended indefinitely.
I'm prepared for a committee hearing, and I come and they say the committee is not sitting. So I just pack my bag and just come out. But I think that as a party, we ought to be a bit serious about these things, because as a lawyer, when a client is referred to a disciplinary committee, the presumption as law is that you've done something untoward. And you're going to be disciplined. That is exactly what a disciplinary committee hearing is for. So why ridicule me in public and come here and tell me that the committee is not even sitting? The message you send to the whole of Ghana is that I've done something untoward and I'm coming here to be disciplined. A senior member of this party, a former deputy majority leader, a former cabinet minister, a former minister of state, 3-term member of parliament, and this is how I'm ridiculed. Come and there's nobody there to sit because the case is bogus or there's no finding of anything. So I thought that there was a better way of handling this matter.
You are disappointed?
They ought to be disappointed. I'm just appearing because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I know the Constitution inside out, both of our nation and that of the party. And even if you check the letter that they wrote to me, the sections in our party constitution that they were quoting, go and make the reference. It has nothing to do with disciplinary or having done anything untoward, unrelated. I'm prepared for a committee.
Okay, so this is Honorable Ajwa Safo, and from all indications, he never received a letter that said that it had been postponed. And but I think that during a conversation yesterday, okay, so I'm just seeing this. It came out. I'm just seeing it being posted an hour ago on Joy Prime, and it says, "We are focused on alleged drug trafficking scandal, not Ajwa Safo." And this is from the party the general secretary of the party. I'll try and get, I think it's a video, so maybe we'll try and play the video. If we can play the video, we're going to download the video and play it for everybody to see so that we don't misquote anybody here. We want to hear it from the horse's own mouth as to what he said during that interview. Okay, so, yes.
Yeah, so Ajosafo is one of our, like a senior member of the party. Like she said, despite her age, I think that she has done a lot for this party, and the party will never intentionally ridicule her. Indeed, she's one of our weapons, you know, that we can use on any day. And despite the problem, I mean, the seeming problem that we had with her, you could still see that during the election, she was all over the place with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When doctor was moving with the bars, you can hardly will you see the bars without Joseph. So she's somebody that the party revered so much, and therefore would not intentionally, let me, you know, emphasis mine, intentionally, you know, ridicule her. Okay. But there was a confusion. Okay. Despite the fact that she was invited using a certain medium. Maybe I would have suggested that same medium should have been used.
I think that's what she said.
Should have been used for the postponement.
All right,
but because of the agency of the matter, they thought that, I mean, writing, they thought that a different medium should be used.
So it was published, but it wasn't given to her.
Yeah,
all right,
so
this
I
is
will
what
give
the
her the
General
benefit of the
Secretary
doubt
said.
that she didn't receive it.
Okay.
I will give
this is what the General Secretary said. There is not going to be any discussion on whether or not Honorable Ajosafo is going to appear before any committee or not. What the party is going to discuss is a running issue with respect to the alleged drug trafficking in our country. Our priority now is the alleged drug trafficking scandal, not internal party politics. Ghanaians deserve answers from the government. We expect transparency, accountability, and clarity on the matter. And he said this during... in an interview on Sunday evening, the NPP General Secretary, Justin Kodua-Frimpong, announced the party's decision to postpone its scheduled meeting initially. Okay, so sometimes when you're reading, then it will skip a bit. Forgive me. 1 second, please forgive me.
Yeah, but the drugs matter is also
please let me land. Okay, so it says, in an interview on Sunday evening, the NPP General Secretary, Justin Kodua-Frimpong, announced the party's decision to postpone its scheduled meeting initially planned for today, Monday, April 7th, citing the gravity of the drug trafficking allegation as the reason. According to Mr. Kodua, the party considers the ongoing scandal matter of national interest that requires urgent attention and critical engagement with the government rather than diverting attention to internal disciplinary matters involving Ajosafo.
No, but maybe the General Secretary was talking about the fact that there are other issues that have come to the table.
Yeah.
And one include the NDC, you know, cover-up of this whole drug and cocaine matters that has plagued...
If you say cover-up, what are you saying?
This nation. I mean, cover-up in the sense that there are so many places that they busted drugs. About 3 different places, Takrady, Cape Coast, and Sapema, and other places. As at now, as we are speaking, the NDC has not come out to tell us. They have not taken even the culprits. The people they arrested, they have not even taken them to court. They have not announced anything. And in that case, for instance, if you have a clue as to some mishap, what some people are doing, and you suspect those people to engage in drug or money laundering, will you take it to those same people who have had the opportunity to bust drugs and have kept mute just because the culprits are people who are from the NDC?
The party from communicating to Ajosafo.
No, but I understand. This is a national issue, but I'm not saying that this is a national issue that has taken the attention of the whole nation.
When Ajosafo
but that is not the sole reason.
On her media tour.
From what you read, I'm not sure the General Secretary said that is the only reason. This is among some of the reasons why, but it cannot be the only reason. I'm sure the disciplinary committee itself... I'm not
saying it's the only reason. I'm saying that doesn't stop the party from issuing a letter to Honorable Ajosafo.
Exactly. I think that, like I conceded that there was a little bit mistake somewhere in communicating the postponement to her. And she has every reason to be livid in mobilizing people, or some supporters spontaneously following her to the headquarters. And to her surprise, she found out that, the system was not coming. So she has every reason to be outraged with a response. But the party has said that it is not intentional, and we loved and revere her. But the only thing is that she has to still answer for, violating the directives of the party. For me, I think that it is clear-cut. They postponed the hearing to another date, another yet to be announced date. And that should be the most important thing to discuss about.
Okay, fantastic. Honorable.
You see, and I think that is what the MPP should be focusing on, not become carriers of fake news merchants, as I've said. Look, there's always this program I watch on Al Jazeera, Power and the Privileged, and how they use their power and their privileged status to bulldoze their way through society and other institutions they belong to. That is exactly what is happening, because Adwoa Safo, according to him himself, is a powerful fellow they recognize in the party. I'm wondering if Saaka had gone out to make such allegations about the way they've now appointed him for the 80 years and all those, the way he has struggled throughout, and yet they appointed family and friends. Some of them, they gave them double appointments. Some of them, they didn't even want the appointment. They say, add more. Some of them were secretary to the president. They made them plenipotentiary ambassadors. They would have hauled Saaka even for the first day.
Do you fear him? Your own is there. Your own is there. Your mom is giving it to you.
You understand? We know comments that have been made by Kennedy Agyapong to their detriment. We know comments that have been made by even the president, his conduct, his handling of power, that has decimated the MPP to this, the abysmal performance ever in the history of the MPP. They are supposed to also be hauled before the appointment committee and other people, their conduct. The only crime of Adwoa is that he dared to come out and to speak about them. But you see, it's a cleansing process. When people are allowed to ventilate their grievances, when people are to openly talk about what is killing them, that pent-up anger in itself soothing and medicinal. So what Adwoa Safo did was to speak out the poison and the pain that has been accumulated in her during all the time, because she even went personal and said that her father's business was brought down completely. And when she called the minister in charge at the time, he said that it was poured from above. Yet this same family and their businesses help you to counterpower. So the pain goes beyond Adwoa. It infiltrates through the family line and so on. It is not an easy thing. It's not an ordinary yanking him before a parliament, before a disciplinary committee to interrogate. It goes beyond. Look, there are some pains. It goes beyond just inviting.
You think others cannot use that same way to also heal?
Oh, but if he has chosen that, would you allow me to make it?
You go on.
Others can use, but if he has chosen that, should I be blamed for her choosing her own path? That is it. Secondly, we know what Adwoa was saying. We know them. We know them copiously in this country before even Adwoa. Adwoa's thing is only paying them because she's an insider. Well, we've all been saying, but when we say they say it's speculations. Be that as it may, the secretary is telling us that they have more important things to focus. And about the drug issue. Since when they were writing the letter, the drug issue has been running up to this morning. They didn't take that into consideration before they wrote. It was an afterthought. But I think, you see, this drug issue, look, let me tell you something. The AirMed International is a U.S. Department Defense approved air courier and holds accreditation, blah, 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 then they give. And let me tell you, this, I won't be surprised if at the end of the day, these air people sue the MPP and their collaborators in this fake news.
Yeah, we are waiting. Go tell them.
Because the Al Jazeera case is a case in point where Alistair Matthias and his goal, they did the investigations, and
pinpointed out the president's involvement. Later on, the MPP rejected and said that they were going to see that. I just stood by what they said and said they had the facts and so on. So they may end up. If you think you want to destroy NDC because you've lost power brutally, I said here, if you were not there at the beginning, don't. These lies, it will come to hand.
Which lies?
The lies about this. That's what I said.
No, didn't you bust cocaine at Sapama?
Don't.
Didn't you bust cocaine at 150 million?
I'll read a few Facebook messages.
Didn't you bust 350 million? So what is the status of those
Rosalind,
what is the status of those cases?
Don't go to read. Rosalind, can you stop this?
Okay, so
tell her, what is
give me 1 minute. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Saaka. The issue at discussion is not about a busted cocaine that is 350 million.
So that one is,
please, allow me to talk. There's no time. It is not about a 150 million. Don't go and smuggle. Please, don't go and smuggle those statements and come into the specific allegation. You said that 2 planes landed here. There was Doomso, and it is alleged to be carrying dollars.
That's true.
Cold back. If it is then maintain that, don't go and smuggle and come.
No, because they are related.
Please, they are not.
They are not related.
They are not.
They have nothing. They are not
In all this, we are talking about.
No, they are not related.
You see,
they are not related. They are not related in any way. No, they are not related.
You know about suspicion of cocaine.
Please, no, we are not talking about.
Hold on, gentlemen.
They are don't obfuscate.
Hold on.
The vast matter.
Wait.
I don't.
Saka, please, his time is up.
It is about suspicion of cocaine.
Please, I beg you, don't do that.
So cocaine ran through.
That's not the issue.
Hold on, please.
Please, Saaka, don't do that. We reason in this country. That is not the issue.
I beg.
We are not talking about
Saaka,
we are not talking about busting of no matter the content. That is not the man made it.
Saaka, let him speak, please.
This is an afterthought that you want to yank in these things and make a concrete.
So the cocaine case.
No one is asking.
What are the status of those 3 cocaine cases?
Saaka, let him make his
please.
case.
No one is asking in team to give us a chronological analysis of cocaine haul or arrest in this country. That is not the issue. The issue is that he made 2 things. 1, 2 planes landed here. Please.
Saaka, please.
With the suspicion of carrying cocaine and money laundering, which he even said it was dollars. How he got to know it was dollars, it wasn't pounds or euros. It's another thing.
So you are saying...
Please.
Saaka.
Okay, let me read a few messages. You know, we are all... We've been in this game for long.
Okay, no problem. You talk.
If you keep doing that, means you're hiding something.
No, we are not hiding.
Okay, so
the issue,
yes, Honorable.
Rosalind, the issue, just a second.
Yes.
The issue, don't let anyone deceive that. You know himself, when they say that, but I've written, why are people not talking about a 350 million? That is not the issue. We'll nail him on the 2 planes that landed here. No air ambulance will be allowed to fly from Alabama, from the United States, and come here with cocaine. And then the issue that, why is it that it didn't land in Togo, it didn't land in Nigeria? You don't determine where I should land my plane.
So they came only to change type.
If they come, let's move on and read a few messages.
If they use a washroom
from Alabama to change type.
Saaka, the one on the floor.
It's so ridiculous.
Why? Even if they came here to use a washroom.
So, Facebook messages. Now, Matthew. Good morning, Madam Rosalind. Greetings to Honorable Timothy. Great submission. Yeah. The DJ is in bed with them. Props, Michael. Gentlemen.
That is not your matter.
Gentlemen.
How you tell me they are flying?
Gentlemen.
Do you determine their flight?
Gentlemen.
Do you determine where they fly?
Honorable, I want to know, Saaka. I don't know what to... Saaka.
From Alabama.
You don't determine. You don't buy fuel for us. Yes.
Saaka.
Do you determine where... You
please.
talk, I kept quiet. And I'm talking to him.
Honorable, hold on. Please. I beg you. This is a very discerning platform.
Yes. So we
have viewers that are so discerning and very respectable viewers. I plead with you. Everybody has their time. When you are speaking, nobody will interject. I'm begging you, don't do this.
No. Mention his name. Mention his name. Mention the
I'm talking to you, Saaka. I'm talking to you, Saaka. Because
he's talking,
I'm talking to you, and I'll speak about it.
And also, I've been writing down ever since he's been talking. I've been writing down my points to respond.
I've also been writing.
No, Saaka, don't do that, please. Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Rosalind. Greetings to Honorable Timothy. Great submission there. The CJ is in bed with a corrupt micro minority. Therefore, the judicial should keep its integrity. Then the notorious CG must be removed. I think I did this on Facebook already. All right. Sorry, what's up? Abdul Karim Zugulana from Abdul Karim. Okay, says, good morning, Rosalind. And your panelists, so far, so bad for the not communication. I think I've done this one too on Facebook. Hamza Mohammed, sorry, on WhatsApp, forgive me. Haji Hamza Pek Farm, good morning, Rosalind. Please, Rosalind, call Saaka to order and take control of the program. I'd like to salute Honorable Timothy this morning for brilliant submissions. He has demonstrated to show that he's on top of issues. Honorable, I salute you. Talking about Honorable Intim Fortune, the least said about him, the better. Some of us have been around for a while and we know what the NPP stand for. They cannot be trusted when it comes to looking for power. According to Intim Fortune, the explanation from government is not clear enough for him to accept it. So the responsibility is on him to provide the evidence for the security agencies to work on. In law, he who alleges must prove. The NPP is confused at the rate President Mahama is delivering on his promises. Hence, it resulted to cheap, frivolous, and baseless accusations. Let's ignore the cacophony, and focus. Let's deliver the best to the good people of this country. Alhaji Hamza Pig Farm. Chachi Boete says, this man, Poly UG. Philemon, good morning, Rosalind. Saaka is saying today that he's sad that one man is going to control executive. Okay, I've done this on WhatsApp already. I'm disappointed. Imoro says, I'm disappointed with the comments of Saaka saying that Charlotte wasn't removed political when Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa told us that he was just a conveyor belt, and as for JM, he cannot be conveyor belt. What is the NPP afraid of? Is the CJ their last hope to shield them from the harm they have caused Ghanaians? It was the CJ who impaneled and supervised judges to deliver a judgment that our birth certificate cannot guarantee our citizenship, but a passport which the birth certificate was given to. Who does that? Unas does this that. Good morning. Ghana is identified as a transit country in 2022 by the British High Commissioner, which was also reported by Joy News. Yet no arrest was made in relations to drugs, etc. in their 8 years. And within 3 months of a new administration comes, some arrests are being made. Does it mean drug dealers don't arrest drugs? Unas Hassan South. Master Planner, Junior Kintempo. The removal of Chief Justice at this time is not what Ghanaians are interested in. Solve the doom, stop the galamsey, and conduct proper investigations into the cocaine issues. Regards to Alhaji Ajia Safia Mohammed, incoming NPP Youth National Women Organizer. Okay, Prince Ayubu Shaibu, Jane Mensah should pay the EC workers. Felix Kojo Beidu, this is to Honorable Saaka. I have a son who was born in Denmark. Is he a Danish or Ghanaian? Kojo Cape Coast. Abdul Ganiu Makarigu. Good morning, Ajia Roslyn. This is, okay, I think I did this right. I've already done this. Okay, Dan Danito, the CJ must go. Tete Zuta, is everything all right? Okay. Mensa Michael, the Honorable just lied in front of you. Is that type of people you have? Which Honorable are you talking about? Please mention the name.
I mean Honorable Timothy.
Yes, mention a name. Cove Town, South Africa. Okay. Baba Mahama Obuasi. Common cement is in shortage, but NDC and government are focusing on raiding people's houses. Reset time and greetings to Abanga Yakubu Fuseni. All right, Sami Boache Saman Kese, what benefit did Felix derive from defending the cocaine and money laundering scheme in Ghana? Is he suggesting that Mahama is unaware of the situation while he ordered the security forces to invite and investigate Reverend Fojo? Are they implying that Reverend Fojo will speak without evidence? Should Felix apologize and consider resigning from his position as spokesperson? Prince Ayuba, Jean Mensah should pay the EC workers. Prince Ayuba, hey, Prince, Abdul Makarigu says, good morning, Ajay Roslyn. This is, I think I already did this one. Okay, so Asami Boache, I've done yours too. Let me see if I have one more. And, all right, so it looks like there's a lot of messages coming in saying that the EC should pay them because they need their money. Anyway, this is all time of permitters.
One minute.
One minute. I'm sorry.
The second, I just want to put this.
I'm so sorry. So this is all so thank you so much. My guest has been Saaka Salia, who represented the NPP this morning, and Honorable Timothy Awontre Matabwade, who represented the NDC this morning.